It is a common belief that reality television is full of unexpected events, but nothing could have adequately prepared viewers for the shocking revelation that Jock has just revealed. Jock disclosed a dark secret about Kirk Frost during a private, late-night interview that was sneakily recorded and then instantly made public. Claims of drug addiction and covert dealings behind the scenes that no one saw coming as a side to Kirk that emotions ran high. Jock's voice was shaking with the pressure of the situation, as he recalled seeing Kirk provide narcotics to a fellow cast member. Reportedly, the network is contemplating removing Kirk from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta due to the explosive nature of the member data. For the most part, fans are stunned that a well-liked celebrity could have such a secret existence, and social media has been flooded with reactions to this news. Due to the fact that Kirk was revealed and Alatl was shut down, the family was left in a state of discord, with close friends frantically attempting to protect Kirk. Others are curious about the length of time he has been keeping the truth hidden, and there are rumors circulating about legal threats and a boycott of the actors. Love and Hip Hop will never be the same again, so stay tuned because this is just the beginning of what's to come. Beginning of a narrative that's as painful as it is exciting. Young Jock's confession surfaced on a sweltering Atlanta night in Kirk Frost's apartment. Camouflaged as a casual catch-up, Jock had contacted Kirk earlier, stating he wanted to discuss a fresh business possibility. Kirk, ever the hospitable host, greeted his old friend with a drink and a warm smile. The two nestled into luxurious leather recliners overlooking the city skyline. Recollections of their early days in the music industry wafting between them. But Jock's genuine goal sat buried in his pocket, a recording device that is inconspicuous and ready to record every phrase. "You've been spiraling, Kirk," Jock said. Began gently, voice tinged with anxiety. Kirk's face creased. "What are you talking about?" he said, though his tone lacked conviction. Jock pressed on. "I'm talking about your warriors dissolving into clouds of smoke, about murmurs that you're not just using, you're delivering to someone on the set." Kirk's face palled, his hand shaking around the glass. He opened his mouth to deny, but Jock put up his phone. "Listen to this," Jock stated. Kirk tensed as Jock hit play. The gentle murmur of Kirk's voice filled the room, confessing to giving pills to a fellow castmate. Kirk's eyes went wide as the reality hit his own words, recorded without his understanding. Presently weaponized, Jock eyed him expression. "The followers are astonished." Jock mumbled, "I had to get this into the open." When Jock's YouTube channel broadcast the recording seconds later, notifications flashed throughout. Social media users who had long appreciated Kirk's loyalty to family and community suddenly unraveled at the realization. Comments flooded in. How could he hide this? The family was left divided. Huddle will never be the same. Producers hurried to assess the damage, their phones lighting up with anxious calls backstage at the studio. Mona Scott called an emergency. Meeting the room buzzed with anxiety as network executives, legal advisors, and production leads debated Kirk's fate. "Do we suspend him pending investigation?" questioned one executive. Another retorted, "If we remove him now, ratings will spike, but credibility will suffer." Mona's stare switched to the enormous monitor displaying Jock's footage. Kirk's face hovered on screen. Eyes haunted. The decision felt heavier than any storyline twist. Meanwhile, Rashidita learned about the controversy via a late-night phone alert. She gazed at her laptop in shock. Kirk, the man who had stayed by her side through innumerable ups and downs, now appeared as the architect of his own collapse. In a group conversation, Rashida typed frantically, "This can't be real." Bambi responded seconds later, "We need to meet. This affects all of us." Within minutes, the core cast assembled in a private trailer, faces drawn with worry. Outside, news vans converged on Kirk's lavish home, spotlights and microphones awaiting him. When he chose to address the public within, Kirk paced, remembering Jock's recording in his thoughts. His wife Tiffany sat at the side of the hallway, laptop open to her own social media feed. Tears glistened in her eyes as she scanned through. Cruel articles, Kirk Frost's secret life unveiled, star. Under the impact, each headline felt like a betrayal, piercing. Harder than any private chat, Tiffany stood and approached Kirk, throwing her arms around him. "We'll get over this," she whispered. Despite her voice quiver, Kirk slid into her hug, the weight of his actions crushing down. He thought of his children, of the principles he had espoused on camera, of the trust he had cultivated with followers. Now it threatened to disintegrate with producers hovering. Kirk agreed to a brief on-camera statement the crew assembled in his living room. Lights bright and obtrusive, Kirk stood before the cameras, shoulders hunched. He cleared his throat. "I've made horrible mistakes," he began, voice cracking. "I've struggled in silence, and I know that silence has caused hurt to my family, friends, and supporters." But before he could finish, Jock's voice rang in his thoughts, reminding him that honest confession alone would not satisfy the next morning. Kirk retreated to a recovery center outside the city. Cameras filmed his entrance, a basic tracksuit, substituting his typical fancy gear, the sterile building, a stark contrast to his opulent house. A counselor welcomed him, guiding him through intake, and offered a notebook. "Write what you can't say," she suggested. Kirk flipped to a blank page and penned, "I'm ready to face the man I've become." Back in the studio, the cast reconvened without Kirk. Jock launched the unscripted reunion session. With a melancholy tone, we invited Kirk arrived tonight to speak for himself. But he chose a different road. The empty chair near Jock loomed big. Rashida's voice quivered as she shouted into her mic. "We stand by Kirk's rehabilitation, yet we can't deny the betrayal." We felt the family was left divided between empathy and fury. The audience ripped in the same way social media burst with reaction, videos, and think pieces. One vlogger juxtaposed Kirk's public persona with Jock's resolve to expose him, saying, "Who's the real villain here?" Others supported Jock as a sincere friend, unwilling to watch Kirk self-destruct. Dozens of hashtags trended. Kirk rehab chat, Lex posed friendship challenge. Sponsors distanced themselves, suspending endorsements and deleting Kirk's photos from campaigns. Tiffany staged a little community celebration at the treatment center, film of which aired as a commercial. Teaser Kirk stood before a gathering of recovering addicts and families, making a hesitant apology. "I hope my path helps others speak up before it's too late," he stated. Children presented him tiny cards with sketches of hearts and phrases, "We faith in you." The scenario felt poignant, a rare moment of genuine connection amidst created drama. Meanwhile, the unknown cast member who obtained narcotics from Kirk moved forward in a brief video. They spoke haltingly. "I was at a bad moment, and Kirk provided medicines. I regret accepting them, but I'm seeking help." The disclosure escalated the scandal, prompting followers to confront the reality beneath the glamour. Many admired the boldness. Others questioned the intentions. Was this another cast-driven redemption narrative? Producers polished these intimate moments into a thrilling narrative for the upcoming reunion. Special cliffhangers teased Kirk's return. Would he emerge in person via video connection or remain absent? Viewers speculated, frantically discussing theories and countdown timers. The family was left divided, some looking for closure, others prepared for further betrayal. As part one draws to a near, Kirk's life has been irreparably transformed. His choices exposed him to public scrutiny, destroyed relationships, and a fight for his career's survival. Yet within the chaos, a spark of redemption flickers, one that only time, honesty, and continuous support may nurture. Stay tuned for Chapter 2, where Kirk confronts his past. The cast encounters unforeseen twists, and the actual cost of secrets comes to light. Kirk's first night back to the recovery center was sleepless. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead, while thoughts of the exposure plagued his mind. He laid on the short mattress, staring at the ceiling, replaying Jock's recording, and the astonished stillness that followed. Emotions ran strong. As remorse twisted in his chest, he had violated not only himself, but everyone who believed in him. He rolled over and went for the journal on the bedside table. With an unsteady hand, he wrote, "I'm scared of what I'll become if I don't face this head on." The next morning, Kirk met with Dr. Alan the Scent's main therapist in a modest office adorned with relaxing artwork. Dr. Allen's voice was soft, yet forceful, as he took Kirk through a visualization exercise. "Imagine the person you want to be," he stated. Kirk closed his eyes and saw a man free from addiction, someone his children to look up to. However, uncertainty crept in. Could he really change after years of hiding? The family was left divided in their aspirations. Some hoped he may. Others thought he never would. Meantime, back on set, Jock's late-night live feed continued to resonate. Fan Rami C. are startled that a reality celebrity they trusted may lead a double life. Social media analysts examined every film, speculating on which cast member received Kirk's purported supply. Speculations buzzed around. Fresh faces whispered that an up-and-coming talent had been compromised. Producers, sensing an opportunity, began teasing a bombshell reveal regarding the second victim, hinting at a betrayal that might rock the show's foundation. Kirk's phone buzzed with texts from castmates. Rashidita sent a text. "Thinking of you. Just remember who you are beyond this." Bambi wrote back, "We'll get through this as a family." Jock's message was clear. "Remain strong, bro." Each ping reminded Kirk of the tightrope he walked. Every response may be a lifeline or a landmine. His sister Jenna went in to support him, offering to remain till he was steady. Her presence gave comfort. However, every time Kirk caught her worried glance, he felt the terrible weight of anticipation in group therapy. That afternoon, Kirk gathered in a circle with 6 other patients. One by one, they shared their stories. A former accountant who lost everything to pills, a stay-at-home dad whose addiction nearly wrecked his marriage, a teenager who'd lost friends to overdoses. When it was Kirk's turn, he recalled the night Jock revealed him, tears streaming down his face. "I felt like a fraud," he said. "I compromised my own story." The room was hushed, then filled with supportive claps. Followers are stunned by his honesty, and watchers at home were left wondering if this raw experience will convert into enduring transformation later. That day, Kirk's wife Tiffany met with their 2 children in tow. Photographers filmed the heartwarming reunion as Kirk knelt on the marble floor, clutching his kids securely. Their young embraces and earnest, "We love you, Daddy," sentiments gave relief, but also a twinge of grief. He worried his actions had harmed them. Tiffany watched, eyes glossy with tears, praying that this moment wasn't simply another stage scene for television, but the true turning point in Kirk's life. As word circulated of Kirk's recovery, surprising allies stepped forward. The unknown cast member who'd received drugs from Kirk sent a message begging for privacy, noting their own hardship. "I hope we can both heal." They said this gesture astonished the cast and fans alike, an olive branch in a battle of betrayal. Social media lit up with praise.